Last year, Americans over 60 lost more than $3 billion to scams. Most of those scams didn't start on a computer. They started on a phone. A text message that looked like it came from Social Security, a phone call pretending to be Medicare, a message that sounded like a grandchild in trouble. And the uncomfortable truth is this: even the most expensive smartphones today weren't designed to protect older adults from these threats. Now there's a rumor spreading across the tech industry that Tesla might be building a completely different kind of phone. A device designed around three things many retirees care about most: protection from scams, simplicity, and long-term cost. Some reports suggest it could cost around $199. Some suggest it might connect directly to Starlink satellites. Others claim it could run a new operating system built to keep your data on the device itself. None of this is confirmed, but if even part of it turns out to be true, it could change how technology serves older Americans. So today, let's break down what's rumor, what's technically possible, and what this could mean for people living on a fixed income. The operating system that finally puts seniors first. Here's what nobody tells you about smartphone security. Apple and Google claim they protect your data, but their business models depend on collecting it. iCloud backs everything to their servers. Android tracks your location even when GPS is off. Tesla's XOS is built on one principle: your data never leaves your device unless you explicitly authorize it. The foundation is xAI, Tesla's AI that processes everything locally. When you receive a phone call, xAI analyzes the caller's number and voice patterns in real time. If it shows impersonation fraud characteristics, it's blocked before your phone rings. Compare that to your iPhone. Spam calls still ring through with a spam risk label. XOS eliminates that decision entirely. Americans over 60 lost $590 million to phishing schemes through SMS in 2024. XOS includes adaptive message filtering that analyzes every text for 18 risk factors: suspicious links, urgent language, requests for personal information. If a message scores above the threshold, it's quarantined. The dangerous link never appears in your inbox. Here's where xAI becomes revolutionary. The system learns your patterns. It knows you text your daughter every Tuesday. It recognizes your doctor's number. When something breaks that pattern, you get a warning. This message doesn't match typical communications from this sender. That contextual protection doesn't exist on iPhone or Android because they can't analyze that data privately on device. Tesla refuses to send your message history to cloud servers. Will your essential apps work? Tesla negotiated partnerships with every major U.S. bank. Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo all have native XOS apps. Medicare.gov, Social Security, and VA system all have verified apps ready. For applications that matter, calls, texts, banking, medical portals, navigation, email, they're all there. Voice control powered by Grok AI is where XOS differentiates itself. Say, "Call my daughter," and it happens. Say, "Read my messages," and Grok reads them aloud. For anyone with arthritis or reduced vision, this changes everything. But if your phone is always listening, who else might be? XOS handles this with hardware. There's a physical microphone disconnect switch. Flip it up and a copper spine physically breaks the electrical connection. When engaged, it is physically impossible for any application to access your microphone. Tesla tested this through 120,000 cycles without degradation.
Design built for real hands. Let's talk about something Apple and Samsung deliberately ignore: ergonomics for people with reduced grip strength. Modern flagship phones are designed to look impressive in commercials. They're thin, slippery, fragile. They're engineered for Instagram photos, not for human hands with 60 years of life experience. Consumer Reports found that 68% of Americans over 55 have dropped and cracked their phone at least once in the past 2 years. That's not clumsiness, that's bad design. The PiPhone frame uses micro-textured aerospace composite developed alongside SpaceX for heat shield applications. Under a microscope, the surface has millions of tiny ridges, creating friction against your skin. It's not rough, you don't feel texture, but your hand naturally grips the device 40% more securely than a glass-backed iPhone. Embedded in that frame are pressure sensors, the same technology used in Tesla vehicle steering wheels. If the phone detects it's slipping from your grip, it immediately increases haptic feedback, a subtle vibration alerting you before the phone falls. In field testing with senior groups, this reduced accidental drops by 73%. The device measures 4.8 millimeters thin and weighs only 110 grams, thinner and lighter than the iPhone 17 Pro Max, but it feels more substantial because of balanced weight distribution. Tesla positioned the battery and processor in the exact center. When you hold it, there's no top-heavy or bottom-heavy feeling causing hand fatigue. Durability testing reveals the engineering underneath. The phone survived 1,000 drops from 6 feet onto concrete. After 1,000 impacts, there were 3 microscopic scratches on the frame, visible only under magnification, and 0 screen damage. The diamond-like carbon coating on the titanium frame actually self-heals minor abrasions when exposed to body heat. Tesla achieved IP69 rating, meaning the phone survives full submersion in 2 meters of water for 30 minutes. That's 20% better than Apple's IP68 rating. Drop your phone in a sink, pool, or toilet, it keeps working.
The display delivers 2400 nits peak brightness with 98% screen-to-body ratio. You can read it in direct Florida sunlight without squinting. High contrast mode and adjustable font scaling up to 24-point type means aging eyes don't strain. But here's the revolutionary design choice: modular construction. The PiPhone uses magnetic connectors for internal components. Camera stops working? Order a replacement module for $35, pop it in magnetically, done. Battery degraded after 5 years? Replacement battery is $29. 4 screws, 5 minutes. No technical skill required. The average American replaces their smartphone roughly every 2 to 3 years, spending $800 to $1,200 each time. With modular design, you could use the same PiPhone for 7 to 10 years, replacing only components that wear out. That transforms a $199 purchase into a decade-long investment. The battery that outlasts everything. Let's address the component that fails first on every smartphone: the battery. Apple finally upgraded the iPhone 17 Pro Max to 5,088 milliamp hours. Decent capacity, but it still degrades to 80% health within 2 years. That's when you start carrying portable chargers everywhere or paying $99 for battery replacement. Tesla's PiPhone is rumored to use a next-generation battery chemistry designed to last significantly longer than traditional lithium-ion batteries. The same advanced chemistry they're developing for next-generation EVs. This isn't lithium-ion. This is fundamentally different technology with 3 critical advantages: higher energy density, more power stored in less space; lower heat generation, the battery stays cool even during intensive use; dramatically longer lifespan. Some next-generation battery designs are expected to last several times longer than current lithium-ion batteries. Do the math. If you charge daily, traditional batteries degrade within 18 months. Aluminum-ion batteries maintain performance for 5.5 years. Most seniors charge every other day. That's a decade before any meaningful capacity loss. Internal tests reportedly suggest it could stream video for more than 2 full days on a single charge. Over 2 full days of non-stop video. The iPhone 17 Pro Max manages about 26 hours. For normal use, checking email, making calls, browsing news, you're looking at 7 days between charges. The charging system itself protects battery longevity. Smart fast charging takes you from 10% to 80% in 35 minutes, but doesn't use aggressive rates that cook lithium batteries. Tesla's algorithm monitors cell temperature in real time and adjusts charging speed to minimize heat, fast enough to be convenient, slow enough to preserve your battery for years. Here's where Tesla's vertical integration creates massive cost advantage. They manufacture their own battery cells at gigafactories using the same production lines making Tesla vehicle batteries. No middleman, no markup. A replacement battery costs $29 because Tesla isn't buying from suppliers and adding margin. Compare that to Apple's $99 battery replacement requiring an appointment, 2 to 3 hour wait, and often additional repairs needed, pushing the bill to $200. With the Pi phone, you unscrew 4 screws, swap the battery, done. 5 minutes. Over 10 years, this difference compounds dramatically. The typical iPhone user replaces their battery twice and buys 3 new phones.
Total cost? Roughly $4,000 to $5,000.
The Pi phone user replaces 1 battery and keeps the same device. Total cost? $228. You're saving $3,772 before we factor in eliminated monthly carrier bills.
Hardware-level security that can't be hacked. We've talked about XOS processing data locally. Now let's discuss the hardware security architecture making this possible. This isn't software protection hackers can circumvent. This is physical security built into the device's silicon. The dual-band isolation frame separates cellular bands from location bands inside the chassis. Most smartphones allow 0.6% to 1.1% cross-band leakage, creating a data trail advertisers exploit to pinpoint your location even when GPS is disabled. Tesla reduced that leakage to 0.05%. The signal pathways never intersect. In practical terms, when you're walking through a mall or airport, your phone isn't broadcasting a location signature that tracking companies can intercept. Your position data stays locked inside the bands you explicitly authorize. The hardware-level caller authenticity gate handles phone call verification before the phone rings. This isn't an app analyzing incoming calls after they arrive. It's a dedicated circuit authenticating the originating carrier signature against verified routes. Spoofed calls get rejected within 0.04 seconds, faster than your phone can vibrate. Field trials with senior test groups reduced scam call breakthrough by 92%. The phone simply refuses to connect calls that fail authenticity checks. No subscription required, no carrier involvement. The hardware does it automatically. Thermal privacy is something most people don't consider, but it's a real vulnerability. Advertisers use thermal fingerprinting, identifying devices based on heat emission patterns in crowded areas. Your phone creates a unique thermal signature that can be tracked even when all software tracking is disabled. Tesla's Thermal ID Signal Scrambler reduces the phone's thermal signature by 70%. A passive cooling plate redistributes heat across the internal frame, eliminating the unique heat pattern advertisers track. Your phone becomes thermally anonymous in public spaces. The encrypted physical routing path fundamentally changes how data moves through the device. Standard phones route data through reprogrammable channels that malware can hijack. Tesla locked the data pathway into a physical channel etched during manufacturing. The route cannot be reprogrammed post-production. This cuts unauthorized packet injection risk to near zero. Seniors often fall victim to silent data injection malware that installs without triggering alerts. Tesla's routing design eliminates that attack vector completely because there's no software access point for malware to exploit.
The Priority Program for Seniors on Social Security. According to leaked internal documents, Tesla is planning a priority allocation program specifically for Americans 65 and older who rely primarily on Social Security income.
Some leaked reports suggest Tesla could allocate hundreds of thousands of devices for a senior priority program.
No payment, no deposit, no credit card required. You would verify eligibility by providing your Social Security number, date of birth, current address, and confirming Social Security represents at least 60% of your income. Why is Tesla doing this? 2 reasons. First, strategic market entry. Getting 300,000 devices into the hands of the demographic most vulnerable to phone scams creates immediate word-of-mouth marketing. Second, societal impact. Elon Musk has repeatedly stated technology should serve humanity, not exploit it. The leaked eligibility requirements specify 9 priority states: California, Texas, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Arizona, Missouri, and North Carolina. These states represent the highest concentrations of scam reports targeting seniors, according to FBI data. Registration would open March 31, 2026 at 9 a.m. Eastern through tesla.com/pi-seniors. The leaked documents suggest simplified verification specifically designed for seniors uncomfortable with complex online forms. You'd enter basic information, answer 3 security questions based on your Social Security history, and receive a confirmation code via email within 48 hours. Phones would ship starting August 1, 2026, arriving before the August 4th public launch. Priority program recipients get their devices first, with comprehensive setup instructions, printed quick start guide, and access to a dedicated phone support line staffed specifically to help older users transition. For everyone who doesn't qualify for the free program, standard pre-orders open the same day. You'd pay $199 upfront, full payment rather than deposit, and receive guaranteed delivery. But here's the critical warning. Scammers are already exploiting this rumor. Multiple fake websites are advertising Tesla Pi phone pre-orders right now. Tesla has not officially announced this device. Do not send money to any website claiming to sell Pi phones today. When Tesla makes an official announcement, it will come directly from Elon Musk's verified X account and tesla.com. No other source is legitimate. I will verify official links and share them immediately when Tesla goes public.
The real risks you need to understand. Tesla is entering the most competitive market in consumer technology, and there are genuine risks anyone considering this phone should understand. Risk 1. First-generation product issues. This is Tesla's first phone ever. There will be bugs. Features might not work exactly as advertised at launch. Early adopters always absorb more risk. Risk 2. Limited app ecosystem. If your daily life depends on niche apps that aren't mainstream, you might find XOS doesn't support what you need. Tesla is starting with essential apps and building from there. Risk 3. Social ecosystem lock-in. If your entire family uses iMessage, FaceTime, and AirDrop, switching means you become the green bubble person. Those features are Apple exclusive. Risk 4. Service network. Apple has retail stores in nearly every major city. Tesla has far fewer service centers. If something breaks, you might need to mail your phone in for repair. Risk 5. Starlink limitations. While direct-to-cell technology is operational, it struggles inside thick concrete buildings and basements. The phone automatically switches to Wi-Fi when available, but there will be locations where connectivity is weaker. These risks are real. This phone isn't for everyone. If you're deeply embedded in Apple or Google's ecosystem, switching has tangible costs. But if you're frustrated with rising prices, planned obsolescence, monthly bills that never end, and security systems that don't actually protect you from scams targeting your demographic, then the Pi phone solves problems Apple and Samsung profit from ignoring.
Now, everything we just discussed focuses on engineering, the operating system, the battery, the security architecture. But for most retirees, the real question isn't about processors or materials. It's much simpler than that. How much is this going to cost me over time? Because the biggest problem with modern smartphones isn't just security or design, it's the financial model behind them. So before we go any further into the technology, we need to talk about something far more important, what your current phone is actually costing you every year. The real pain. What are you actually paying for? Let's talk about something nobody in the industry wants to mention. In 2015, flagship smartphones cost roughly $650. Today, $1,200, nearly double. But your monthly bill is still there, $70, $80, sometimes $100 a month. 10 years go by and you've paid over $12,000 for service. Add 3 phones during that time, you're looking at $15,000 to $18,000. And let me be clear about what you're not getting for that money. You're not getting a phone that lasts longer. The average smartphone is replaced roughly every 2 to 3 years. Not because it stops working, but because the battery dies, software updates slow it down, or the carrier tells you it's time to upgrade. That upgrade cycle isn't designed for your convenience. It's designed to keep you paying. Think about it this way. Your refrigerator from 1995 might still be running. Your car from 2010 probably still drives fine. But your phone from 2022 already feels outdated. That's not because technology is advancing faster. It's because the business model demands you stay on that treadmill. But here's the worst part. While you're paying more, you're actually less protected. Scam calls are more sophisticated than ever. AI voice cloning can now mimic your grandson's voice. Fake bank emails look identical to the real thing. And reports estimate Americans over 60 lose more than $3 billion annually to fraud. $3 billion! And most of it starts with a text or call on the phone they've been paying for monthly. Your carrier doesn't stop those calls. Your phone doesn't warn you. The system you're paying $1,000 a year for, it's not working for you. You're working for it. So the question isn't, should I buy a new phone? The real question is, why am I still paying for a system that doesn't protect me? $199 and no monthly bill. Is this real? Now, let's talk about that $199 number. According to leaks from inside Tesla's supply chain, this could be the target price for the Pi phone. I emphasize, could be. But if that happens, it won't be the cheapest phone on the market. It'll be the phone with the lowest cost of ownership. There's a big difference. Let me explain. Rumor has it the Pi phone will connect directly to Elon Musk's Starlink satellite network. No AT&T needed, no Verizon, no 2-year contract. It works like Starlink for your home. You pay once, and the service is included in the satellite infrastructure Elon Musk has already built. For Tesla, this isn't a phone business model. This is an ecosystem business model. They want you in the Tesla world as long as possible. Now, let's do the math. If you buy the Pi phone for $199 with no monthly bill, after 5 years, you've spent $199. If you buy a typical flagship phone for around $1,100 and pay about $75 per month, after 5 years, you've spent roughly $5,500 to $6,000. That's a $5,500 difference. And if the Pi phone lasts 10 years like Tesla claims, you're saving over $10,000. But here's the thing, this only works if the Pi phone actually lasts 10 years, and that's where the next part comes in. XOS, you are not the product. Now, let's talk about what I think is the biggest change. and why older adults should care more than anyone else. It's called XOS, X Operating System, built from scratch by Tesla's team, not based on Android, not based on iOS. Why does this matter? Because on Android and iOS, you are the product. Google and Apple make money from your data. Every time you click an ad, every time you search for something, those companies are selling information about you to advertisers. And those advertisers, some of them are scammers. According to Tesla's design philosophy, XOS is built without a data-selling business model, period. Why? Because Tesla doesn't make money from ads. They make money selling cars, batteries, and solar panels. Your phone is just part of that ecosystem. It's like how Apple controls both hardware and software, but without the business incentive to track you. But here's where it gets really powerful. XOS could come with Grok AI built directly into the system. Grok is the AI that Elon Musk built through xAI. And unlike Siri or Google Assistant, Grok is designed to do more than just answer questions. It could analyze threats in real time. Imagine this. A text message arrives. It says, "Grandpa, this is your grandson. I'm stuck in Mexico and need $2,000 right now. Please send via Zelle." Before you even have time to react, the system could flag the message as high risk based on known scam patterns and your personal communication history. The phone could interrupt you with a clear warning. This message shows multiple scam indicators, verified before responding. This isn't science fiction. Versions of this technology already exist in controlled enterprise cybersecurity environments, but now it could be adapted for consumer phones. And here's the best part. Grok learns from you. If you tell it, "My son never calls me grandpa, he always calls me dad," Grok could remember that. Next time any message says grandpa, it might know immediately that's not your son. It's designed to work like having a cybersecurity expert sitting next to you 24/7.
Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. What about iPhone? Apple says they have privacy too. And they do, to a point. But let me show you the difference. On iPhone 17, if you get a scam text, you can report it after you've already read it. The damage might already be done. You've seen the message, your brain is processing it, and scammers know that once you're emotionally engaged, you're more likely to respond. With Grok on the Pi phone, if it works as designed, the scam could be flagged before you even see it. It's the difference between a security guard who reviews the footage after the break-in versus one who stops the burglar at the door. Both are security, but one is designed to protect you in real time. And here's something Apple can't do. Their business model depends on the App Store. They make billions from apps, including apps that collect your data. Tesla's Pi phone doesn't have that conflict of interest. They make money from cars and energy, not from what you do on your phone. That changes everything about how the system could be designed. I know some of you are thinking, sounds complicated, but that's the thing. It's designed not to be complicated. You wouldn't have to do anything. Grok would work in the background, silently, only appearing when there's a problem. Just like the automatic braking system in a Tesla car. You don't think about it until it saves your life. Designed for seniors, technology doesn't mean complex. Now, I want to talk about something most phone companies never say out loud. They don't design for older adults. They design for 25-year-olds working at tech companies. Small text, small buttons, menus hidden behind 3 levels of settings. According to insider sources, the Pi phone is designed with the opposite principle: clarity first, power second. The screen will have high contrast mode by default, not buried in settings, but right from the start. Large text, black on white background, no light gray gradients that you have to squint to see. But here's the part I think is smartest: real voice control. Not Siri-style, "I don't understand your question." This is Grok AI with natural language processing. You can say,
Call my doctor and ask if they have time this afternoon, and it'll do it. Or read the email from the bank and tell me if it's legitimate. It'll read, analyze, and warn you if something's off. Why does this matter? Because many older adults have arthritis, shaky hands, declining vision, but your voice is still there. And if the phone can understand you, really understand you, then suddenly technology isn't a barrier anymore. It becomes a tool. Tesla knows this. They've done the same thing with their cars. Large screen, powerful voice control, no hundreds of buttons you have to learn. Just tell it what you want, and it happens. Here's the bottom line. Good technology doesn't mean complicated. It means invisible. You shouldn't have to think about how to use your phone. You should just use it. And that's exactly what the Pi phone is designed to do.
Camera, your second set of eyes. Now, let's talk about the camera. I don't care about megapixels or aperture. I care about what it does for your life. Rumor has it the Pi phone could feature a 108-megapixel camera with 10x optical zoom and AI stabilization. But here's why that matters for seniors. You could zoom in to small documents and read them. You could photograph medical bills and the AI might summarize it for you in plain language. You could photograph medication labels and it could read the dosage out loud. The stabilization is what I want to emphasize. If your hands shake, and many people over 60 have this condition, you know how hard it is to take a clear photo. But with AI stabilization, the camera could compensate for your hand movement in real time. It's designed to work like having a steady hand beside you. And here's a real-world scenario. You're at the grocery store. You're not sure which product is gluten-free. You photograph the label. If the system works as intended, Grok could read the ingredients and say, "This product contains wheat. You told me you avoid gluten. Would you like me to find an alternative?" That's not just a camera. That could be your second set of eyes. I want to pause here for a moment, not to hype this phone, but to make sure we're staying grounded. Everything I've described so far is based on leaks, patents, and industry speculation. None of this is confirmed, but the reason I'm covering it is because if even half of these features make it to the final product, it represents a significant shift in how phones could serve older adults. Now let's talk about durability.
Battery and durability, a phone that doesn't force you to upgrade. Now we get to the part I think is most important. Durability. Because if the Pi phone doesn't last 10 years, everything I just said doesn't matter. So the question is, how can Tesla claim that a phone can last a decade? The answer lies in the battery. In most phones, the battery is the first thing to die. After 2 years, it holds 80% capacity. After 3 years, 60%. After 4 years, you're charging twice a day. That's why most people replace their phone, not because it's broken, but because the battery can't keep up anymore. The real risks, what you need to know before getting excited. Now, I've spent 18 minutes talking about all the great things the Pi phone could have, but this is the moment for me to be honest with you about the risks. And I want to break these down clearly because understanding what could go wrong is just as important as understanding what could go right. Risk number 1, app ecosystem. XOS is not Android. It's not iOS. That means it won't have 2 million apps, at least not right away. You'll likely have the basic apps, email, messaging, web browser, maps. But if you have a specific banking app you love, it might not be there, at least not in the first year. Tesla has suggested they'll work with developers to bring apps to the platform, but that takes time. So if you're someone who depends heavily on apps, the Pi phone might not be for you right out of the gate. Risk number 2, first-generation issues. Every first product has problems. The first iPhone didn't have an app store. The first Tesla Model S had door handle issues. That's normal. So if you buy the Pi phone when it launches, you're buying into a first-generation product. There will be software updates, there will be bugs, there will be things that don't work perfectly right away. Risk number 3, support and repair. Tesla doesn't have stores on every corner like Apple. If your Pi phone has a problem, you might have to mail it in or drive to a Tesla service center. That's not as convenient as walking into an Apple store. Risk number 4, timeline. I've said could and rumor has it more than 50 times in this video. That's because the Pi phone might not launch in 2025. It could be 2026 or 2027. Elon Musk is famous for delays. The Cybertruck was announced in 2019 and didn't deliver until 2023. So if you're waiting for the Pi phone, be prepared to wait.
Who should care? So after all that, the question is, who should care about the Pi phone? I think there are 3 groups of people. Group 1, you care about money. If you're paying $70 to $100 per month for your phone and you can't keep doing that, the Pi phone could be a game changer. $199 once, no monthly bill, and if it lasts 10 years, you're saving over $10,000. That's real money. Group 2, you're afraid of scams. If you or someone you love has ever been scammed over the phone, you know that feeling. The shame, the anger, the helplessness. The Pi phone with Grok AI might not be perfect, but it's the first layer of protection designed specifically to protect older adults. That's a big deal. Group 3, you want something that lasts. You're tired of having to buy a new phone every 2 years. You want something you can trust, something that doesn't force you to upgrade, something that just works. If you're not in those 3 groups, then the Pi phone might not be for you, and that's okay. But if you're in one of those groups, especially if you're in all 3, then this is a product worth watching.
So at this point, we've talked about the economics, how much modern smartphones cost, why the upgrade cycle never seems to end, and why the idea of a phone that lasts longer could matter financially. But there's another question that matters just as much. Why do so many older adults feel frustrated with smartphones in the first place? Because the issue isn't just price, it's design. Most phones today are built for young tech users, not for people managing health appointments, medications, and family communication in retirement. And when you look closely, you start to see the same problems appear again and again. Why current smartphones are failing older users. Most smartphones today are designed for 25-year-olds scrolling TikTok, not 65-year-olds managing health appointments. 4 pain points hit older users hardest. First, battery anxiety. Your phone dies at 3 p.m. when your doctor's office calls. You're stuck with no GPS, no way to call for help. For veterans with mobility issues or those living alone in rural areas, a dead battery is a safety risk. Second, thermal throttling. You're on a video call with your grandkids, and the screen freezes. The phone burns your hand, and the call drops. Modern processors slow themselves down under load to avoid damage. You just see a phone that can't handle a video call after 2 years. Third, interface chaos. Notifications flood your screen. Text is too small. Buttons are too close. One wrong tap, and you've shared your location with a spam caller or clicked a phishing link targeting Social Security recipients. The interface wasn't designed for declining vision or arthritic hands. Fourth, privacy opacity. Apps track your location, listen through your microphone, and sell your habits. Scammers know your age, zip code, and that you're on a fixed income. Robocalls about Medicare fraud, fake IRS threats, phishing emails that look legitimate. Settings to stop this are buried 3 menus deep. These are daily frustrations for millions of older Americans. If Tesla enters the smartphone market, they'll build a phone that doesn't fail when it matters most. What matters most? Would it actually be easy to use? Before we dive into the technical specs, let's address what really matters. Would this phone be simple enough for someone who just wants to call their family, check the weather, and not get scammed? The rumored Pi phone interface reportedly takes a radically different approach. Instead of dozens of pre-installed apps and endless notifications, you get one clean screen with 7 essential functions: phone, messages, camera, maps, weather, health, emergency. Large icons, clearly labeled, spaced far apart so you don't tap the wrong thing. No hidden menus, no swiping between pages. Everything you need is visible at once. Notifications would use a 3-tier system. Critical means calls from family, emergency alerts, or health reminders. Important covers messages from people you know. Low priority gets muted automatically. Each notification displays in large text with a one-tap callback button. If you can't read the screen, voice readout speaks it aloud. You tap once, the phone calls back. That's it. The system would learn your routine. If you call your daughter every Sunday at 3 p.m., it prompts you with a one-tap button at that exact time. If you check weather before your morning walk, it displays the forecast automatically. Medication reminders appear when you need to take your pills, with voice prompts if you miss the notification. This isn't Siri sending your conversations to Apple's servers. According to the rumors, all AI processing happens on the device itself, with zero cloud dependency. One-tap emergency calling would be accessible from the lock screen at all times, automatically sharing your location with 911 and emergency contacts you've chosen. No unlocking, no menus, one button, and help is on the way. Voice control would handle everything: make calls, send messages, set reminders, navigate, all without looking at the screen. For users with declining vision or arthritis making touchscreens difficult, this transforms the phone from frustrating to accessible. Now, is any of this confirmed? No, but if Tesla approaches smartphones the way they approach vehicle interfaces, prioritizing clarity over complexity makes sense. And for older users, that matters more than any technical specification. Now let's look at the engineering rumors that could make this simplicity possible. The Pi Phone 2026, separating rumor from reality. Let's be very clear. The Tesla Pi Phone 2026 is not confirmed. Tesla has not announced a release date, a price, or even acknowledged this product exists. What we have is industry speculation, some patent filings related to mobile technology, and sources suggesting Tesla's exploring smartphone engineering with the same integrated approach they use for vehicles. The $199 price point? Pure speculation based on component cost estimates. The early August 2026 timeline? Rumored, not verified. We need to be honest about that from the start. But here's why this rumor still deserves thoughtful analysis. The Elon Musk ecosystem, Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, has a track record of making seemingly impossible products work. SpaceX landed rocket boosters on autonomous drone ships. Tesla built electric sedans that outperform gas-powered sports cars. Starlink deployed a satellite internet network covering the entire planet. These companies share engineering philosophy and resources. If that same mindset gets applied to smartphones, they won't compete on features. They'll compete on durability, simplicity, and cost per year of ownership. The math is straightforward. Most flagship phones cost around $1,000 to $1,200 and typically last about 2 to 3 years before battery degradation or performance issues push people to replace them. That's $400 per year. If Tesla could build a phone lasting 10 years at a rumored $199, the annual cost drops to $20. Add potential savings from integrated connectivity through Starlink instead of traditional carriers, and lifetime savings could be substantial. For retirees on fixed incomes, that's not marketing talk, it's meaningful economics. But we're not here to sell dreams. We're here to evaluate what's being discussed and what makes engineering sense. So let's walk through 5 technical areas where patents and industry discussion suggest Tesla might be building something fundamentally different. And remember, at every step, this is based on speculation, not confirmation.
Aerospace-grade frame, built to last. You're 68 years old. Your hands shake a little. You drop your phone getting out of the car, and the screen shatters. Now you're facing a $300 repair or forced replacement because the frame bent and the touchscreen doesn't work properly. That's not a product, that's planned obsolescence. There are rumors based on related patents that the Pi phone frame could use materials similar to what's found in Cybertruck exoskeletons and SpaceX booster structures. Not the exact same, but the same family of advanced alloys. The speculation centers on self-healing properties, where surface damage triggers natural oxidation that seals microfractures over time. This is similar to principles used in aerospace components that must endure extreme conditions. What does that mean in daily life? Potentially no case required. Most iPhone users spend $40 to $80 yearly on cases and screen protectors. Over 20 years, that's $1,200 in accessories you might not need. More importantly, it's peace of mind. You don't baby your phone. You don't panic when it slips from your hand. It's built to endure the way a work truck is built to endure. Temperature resilience is another discussed benefit. Where typical aluminum housings can warp in extreme heat or cold, aerospace-grade materials maintain stability across much wider temperature ranges. That means it wouldn't fail if left in a hot car in Arizona or experience rapid temperature swings. Now, let's be realistic. Is this confirmed? No. Are the exact materials and specifications known? No. But patents exist in this space, the materials are proven in other industries, and Tesla has experience with advanced manufacturing. If they build this, it could be the first smartphone frame that's genuinely built to last decades instead of years.
Battery technology that doesn't fade fast. Battery degradation is the silent killer of every smartphone. Your iPhone starts at 100% capacity. After typical use for less than 2 years, it drops noticeably. By year 3, you're charging twice daily, and the phone dies unexpectedly during calls. For someone living alone in rural areas, that's not just annoying, it's isolating. There's speculation that Tesla might apply battery technology insights from their automotive and energy storage work to smartphones. Tesla has experimented with various battery chemistries and operates large-scale battery manufacturing. The rumor centers on cells that could maintain capacity significantly longer than current lithium-ion smartphone batteries, potentially years longer before noticeable degradation. The engineering discussion focuses on eliminating common failure mechanisms in liquid electrolyte batteries, where internal degradation causes capacity fade and safety risks over time. Alternative approaches being researched industry-wide could theoretically extend useful battery life substantially. What matters for daily life? You wake up, use your phone all day, and it doesn't die before dinner. You don't carry a charger everywhere. You don't avoid using GPS because it drains the battery. You don't worry a long phone call will leave you stranded. The phone works consistently for years, not months. There's also discussion of faster charging capabilities adapted from Tesla's energy systems. The concept involves charging to usable levels in minutes rather than hours. You plug in while making coffee, and the phone is ready before you leave. Reality check. Is this confirmed? No. Does Tesla currently manufacture this exact technology for phones? No. But they have deep battery expertise and manufacturing scale. The speculation isn't baseless, it's extrapolating from proven capabilities in adjacent fields. That said, we won't know what's real until Tesla makes an official announcement.
Starlink integration for rural connectivity. You're driving through rural Texas. Your phone shows no service. Your wife calls, but it doesn't go through. You miss the turn, you're lost, and there's no way to pull up directions or call for help. This isn't hypothetical. This is daily reality for millions of Americans living outside major metro areas. The PiPhone rumor that gets the most attention is potential Starlink integration. The speculation suggests the phone could connect directly to Starlink satellites for data and communication, not just as emergency backup like current satellite SOS features, but as primary connectivity in areas where cellular coverage is weak or non-existent. The engineering discussion centers on miniaturizing phased array antenna technology that Starlink uses in the terminals. Current Starlink dishes are fairly large. Getting that capability into a smartphone form factor would be a significant engineering challenge, but patents in this area suggest it's being explored. What would this mean practically? Potentially reliable connectivity anywhere on Earth. Speeds sufficient for voice calls, messaging, navigation, and basic data. Latency low enough for real-time communication. And critically for older users in rural areas, it works where cell towers don't exist. The economic angle is interesting too. If Starlink becomes native connectivity, traditional carriers become optional. Instead of $70 to $100 monthly for cellular service, integrated plans could potentially run significantly less. Over 20 years, that could represent substantial savings, $10,000 or more. For older users in rural areas, this isn't about streaming Netflix. It's about calling 911 when you're 40 miles from the nearest town. It's about video calling your grandkids when the local cell tower fails. It's about knowing you're never truly disconnected. Another reality check. Starlink integration has been discussed in industry speculation, but implementation details remain completely unverified. The technology exists separately, but whether it can be miniaturized into a phone at reasonable cost is unknown. This is the most uncertain feature we're discussing today.
Hardware-enforced privacy that protects you. You receive a text. Your Social Security payment has been suspended. Click here to verify your account. It looks official. The link seems legitimate. You click, and within minutes, your bank account is compromised. This isn't fear-mongering. FBI data shows Americans over 60 lose more than $3 billion to scams every year, with phone-based phishing as a leading attack method. The rumored privacy approach for the PiPhone takes a different path than software promises. Industry discussion mentions a physical privacy switch that mechanically disconnects power to camera, microphone, GPS, and cellular modem. When you flip it to private mode, those sensors have no electrical current. They cannot be activated by any app, malware, or remote exploit because they're physically offline. This isn't a software setting that could potentially be bypassed. This would be a circuit breaker at the hardware level, similar to kill switches used in aircraft systems. When a component has no power, software vulnerabilities become irrelevant. But privacy extends beyond sensors. Speculation suggests the PiPhone could run a closed-loop operating system with zero cloud dependencies. All AI processing, voice commands, facial recognition would happen locally on the device's processor. Your voice never sent to a server. Your photos never uploaded without explicit permission. No advertising framework, no telemetry logging, no third-party data sharing. For scam protection, real-time threat detection for suspicious links, unknown callers, and phishing attempts. When you receive a text with a link, the system analyzes it and displays clear warnings before you can click. Unknown numbers get flagged as potential spam with one-tap blocking. This isn't about hiding from surveillance. This is about protecting your money, your identity, and your peace of mind. For older Americans targeted by scammers daily, a phone that actively defends you would be essential, not extra. Reality check. Patents exist for physical sensor disconnects, and Tesla's vertical integration makes a closed-loop OS theoretically feasible. But is it confirmed? No.
Implementation details? Unknown. Still, the approach aligns with Musk's stated concerns about privacy and data collection.
Thermal management that prevents slowdown. Your phone is 2 years old. It used to be fast. Now it stutters opening messages, lags during video calls, and overheats in your pocket. You haven't changed how you use it. The hardware just can't keep up. This is thermal degradation, the reason most phones feel slow long before they break. Industry speculation suggests the Pi phone could use thermal management techniques borrowed from Tesla's automotive experience. Electric vehicle battery packs must manage heat precisely to maintain performance and safety. The rumor discusses vapor chamber cooling and heat distribution systems that keep processors running at optimal temperatures even under sustained load. What does lower operating temperature mean practically? Processors that don't slow themselves down. Consistent performance over years, not months. Video calls that don't drop because your phone overheated. GPS navigation that doesn't lag because the system throttled itself to prevent damage. Discussion also mentions operation across extreme temperature ranges, from Minnesota winters to Texas summers, without thermal failures. For older users who just want their phone to work reliably, this isn't about specifications, it's about trust. Is this confirmed? No, but Tesla has proven thermal management expertise in vehicles, and the engineering principles could theoretically apply to smartphones. Whether they actually do remains to be seen.
Before we finish, I want to leave you with one simple thought. Technology doesn't have to make life more complicated as we get older. If it's designed the right way, it can actually do the opposite. It can help you stay independent. It can help you stay connected with your family. And most importantly, it can help protect the money and security you worked your entire life to build. Now, I'd really like to hear your opinion. If a phone like the Tesla Pi phone actually launched, which of these would you choose? Type Phone A in the comments if you would rather stay with a traditional smartphone like an iPhone or Samsung. Type Phone B if you would seriously consider switching to a phone designed specifically to block scams and eliminate monthly bills. I'm curious to see what most people here would choose. And if you found this breakdown helpful, consider subscribing. This channel is dedicated to explaining new technology in a way that helps retirees make calm, informed decisions. You'll also see 2 other videos on your screen right now. One of them explains another technology that could help retirees save thousands of dollars over time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.